Right, so when we are setting up a test, the first thing we need to do is go onto the Invigilator app and set up the test. So we choose the Create a New Exam tab. We then put the name of the test into it. So this case, it is grade 12 GD test 1. Code. I usually just G12 subject and then test 1 2025. The length of the exam, the main thing with this is that it is an hour exam, but you need to give them some additional time. Please remember that the Invigilator app is not the place where we actually are recording the time. This is mainly for us to have a recording of what they're doing on their phone during the test. So I always add on at least half an hour to the test. So if it is 60 minutes, I'm going to make this 90 minutes. Again, it does not matter what time you start the test. This one is for today. So I'm going to set it up for today and I'm going to start it at 11 a.m. The test is at 2, but that's fine. It'll be available when the child is ready to start. We don't generally use password. Then you also have how long is the QR code available from the start of the test. So I always just add something of like 6,000 because if there is any child that needs to be in it afterwards, then they need to be able to access it. Then we put in the URL for the learning management system. So this is the URL for Brightspace, mystudies.ie.edu.za. Approximately how many students are writing. So that's about 10 of them. Will they be allowed to take this multiple times? I always push yes, because if it fails the first time, then at least they can stop and start again. So I always say yes, they can start more than once, and that ensures that they do start it again if it fails sometime during the test. Are they able to finish early? Yes, you need to say that so that they can upload their paper as soon as they complete it. Yes, they must take pictures of their paper. I always put that even if it is a typing paper, because at least then if they do have any rough work, they can scan it as well. Otherwise, I just let them tell them that they need to scan something on the paper. I don't have a cut-off time for them to upload, mainly because if somebody writes later, then you have to change all these details. It should include a selfie so that you can see that it's the right child writing the paper. The exam, we always say 10 recordings during the paper because this is the main thing that we're tracking. And then they don't need to enter an exam OTP. And will they're required to take, no, we don't need them to do anything like that. Sometimes you might ask them to take a picture of their workspace or your desk or something like that. But it does randomly ask them during the test, so it can be a bit distracting. So especially for exams and that, we generally say no. Then you push save. You will then have a QR code. You can see that you can download it quite easily. So I'm going to download it to add to my tests later. And then I can check the details. So it opens on Thursday, the 13th of March at 11 a.m. and will be open until the 17th of March at 3 p.m., which gives you a few days if anybody needs to write it at a later stage. It will do a selfie check. It'll do 10 recordings of the microphone. It allows multiple submissions. It allows students to submit before the time is up and also allows them to upload their script. So that's everything you need to do. If you need somebody else to share the exam with you, to mark with you, if there's another teacher that's there, if you push view the reports, you can then invite a colleague. So you can actually just choose somebody else to invite, and then that person will have access to the report at the end. When the students have finished the paper, so if I go back to exams, I'm just going to open another one just to show you. If you see that there's another exam that you would like, let's just have another look at a different one that's already been written. You can see that once the students have written, you can see all of their reports there. You can go to view results report, and then you can see whether they've failed. So this is a child that I would have a look at their recording, because you can see that they've failed on all accounts. They haven't taken a selfie, their microphone, obviously there were sounds, they were out of the app for a certain amount of time. You can even see that it was only 1 minute they were out of the app, but just check that. It might be when they were doing the upload, and then there's all the different other information. So you can see that they stopped and restarted the app a few times. So this one would be somebody that I would have checked. You can see the others that have actually done what they're supposed to be, and they're not a problem. So the ones that have failed are generally the ones that you should be checking, that they haven't, that those recordings are the ones that you should be checking. That's how we set up the invigilator.